All right, welcome to our second Learning Coach edition. Today our orientation. We are going to be talking about schedules and top habits for learning coaches today. I'm excited to have you guys here. Feel free to hop on the mic or chat in the chat box. If you go down to the bottom under more, there's 3 dots on your controls. And if you click more, that's where the chat box can be found. And with us today is Forrest Smith. He is our head of school. Forrest, did you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. I guess I can. So I'm the head of school here at Texas Online Preparatory School. If you've joined the new Learning Coaches group, I'm the Bitmoji guy that's been responding to you. So whether you're here right now or you're watching this video later, I have been head of school here at TOPS. Is going into my 4th school year, and I think that's it. I mean, I live in the Houston area. I live pretty close, not too far from our district partner, which is Huntsville ISD, and I'm there quite often. Well, at least pre-COVID was there quite often, and then obviously we have our office in the Dallas area too, in Louisville, and so I have to be up there sometimes as well. So I'm kind of all over the place, so as well as on Facebook. So I think that's it. Hope you're muted. You were saying awesome stuff though.
Yeah, thank you. So again, today our agenda is going to be talking about TOPS habits for learning coaches and creating a personalized schedule for your student. All right, so this is our team. We have Rachel Smith, who's the high school principal, Crystal Frost, the middle school principal, Blanda Watt, the elementary school principal, Julie Loughlin, the high school assistant principal, Erin Cogburn, the middle school assistant principal, and Forrest, who you just met. And then, oh, there's me. I'm Aubrey Firebaugh. I am an advisor with TOPS, and I've been with K-12 for, this will be my 8th school year. So, all right. So jumping right in, our TOPS habits, some of the things for you to be a successful learning coach are going to be collaborating and planning your students' week, which is what we're really focusing on today. Ensuring Class Connect attendance and participation. So Class Connect is going to be your live class that your student goes to with their teacher. You are going to monitor their grades and check their assignment completion, making sure they're getting everything done, making sure that they're passing, and you're going to communicate with the school staff. So one of the things that we're going to talk about, which is planning your students' week, it's really important to start doing that the week before. Sometimes, like Sunday evening, set aside a few minutes on Sunday evening to look ahead for the coming week and look at what Class Connects your student has, like how many assignments they have. Do they have a test at the end of the week? Do they have a large English assignment or a paper, something that they need to plan for? So those are things that you want to do. You want to sit down and you want to look at planning your students' week. We're going to talk more about how to do that. But it shouldn't take you more than, like 30 minutes on a Sunday to sit down and plan your students' week, and then approximately 15 to 20 minutes every school day to sit down and making sure that they have completed all of their assignments. Now, this is, of course, for our middle school and our high school students that are a little bit more independent. Our elementary school students is going to be a little bit more time commitment. It's also important that you reach out to your advisor if your student is not passing, and your student also will be able to utilize the homeroom course resources and videos.
Ms. Firebaugh, can I?
Yes.
I was just going to say one other thing on that. Sure. So here in a couple weeks, all of our learning coaches, you'll get some invites to what we'll call what we're calling our welcome week. And during that welcome week time, we'll go over some pretty granular things as well. One of those things being with checking your students' grades. We like to talk about what like we're talking here about these TOPS habits, because we found that if you were to look at the learning coaches, that's, you know, the things that learning coaches have given us over the history of the last 4 to 5 years and said, these are the things we do, and this is why our students are successful at TOPS. Well, these are the things they do. Some of them do it a little differently. Some of them, you know, spend a lot of time sitting next to their students. Some of them spend even less time than what we're suggesting. But the main thing is that we've also created several, let's call it systems and things that we've put in place, that if let's say for whatever reason you're sick, you know something goes wrong, that you have a secondary or tertiary ability to find out what are my students' grades and are they going to school? Did they actually log in when they told me they were going to log in, and all of those things. So you're not, I think a lot of times, especially right now, dealing with COVID, and if you've been in another school district that probably did remote learning in the spring, we're not suggesting that you have to be there all the time, logging in at a certain time, doing all those things. It is pretty minimal effort, you know, for our students to be successful. But if for whatever reason things don't go well and you can't spend that 30 minutes, there are people to help. And so I think that's the most important thing to take away. There's always somebody they can call, your student can call. There's always somebody they can email. A lot of times, unless because they don't always see us here in Zoom or whatnot, it's like, for a long time, people just knew me, parents knew me as a Bitmoji on Facebook, for example. And then when I go to state testing and I walk around and people say, I try to wear it, for a long time, I would try to wear the same exact outfit as my Bitmoji, which was a dark blue jacket and a light blue shirt and khaki pants. And people would recognize me because of my Bitmoji. So that's the virtual world we're in. It seems odd, but we are real, and we do want to help your students succeed. So that was my only soapbox related to the TOPS habits. There you go.
Thank you. Yes, we are definitely available for you guys and for your students. If you can't spend that 30 minutes with them planning their week, we can help them do that. Their advisor can help them do that and be successful. So just have them reach out. You guys reach out to us. So two of the biggest parts of your students' day will be live class, okay, Class Connect. And then the other big portion of their day is going to be completing assignments that are scheduled for your student on a daily basis. The reason why we create or have you guys create a schedule for your student, an additional schedule for your student, is because having a consistent routine helps your students stay on track and avoid falling behind in their coursework. And when a student knows what to expect, they're more likely to be successful and avoid frustration and anxiety in their day. So this is what your student's account is going to look like. On Sunday evening, you would hop into your student's account or your Learning Coach account, and you would look at their schedule. Now this is the week view. So you would click on week in the top right-hand corner, and you're gonna see all of their Class Connects scheduled, so their live classes. And then underneath that is going to be a daily list of the assignments that they're scheduled to do. All students must log in every school day and complete some schoolwork, so they're not counted absent. Next week, we're going to be talking a little bit more about school policy. So if you guys want to hear a little bit more about attendance and some of our school policies, please join us next week. But again, to look at your student's schedule, you're going to log into the account. You're going to go to the schedule tab, and you're going to click on week. Now I have a schedule for you. I have it in both PDF and Excel. I'm going to attach it in the chat box. Well, at least I was going to. I am going to have to email it out. Did Zoom change?
I think actually it may have, because we had a Zoom account issue this week. I didn't even think about that until you said it right now.
There's no clip, there's no little paper clip that shows, like, is allowing me to push it through. Let me see if I can drag and drop it real quick.
There is one in the chat box. If you click on file, it might let you, if you have that.
Yeah, I don't have that. That's what I was looking for. I don't know what happened to it.
I know what happened to it. I'll tell you later.
Right.
Zoom and I are friends again, but we were not friends for a few days. So they overcharged us and then reimbursed us. And then we didn't have accounts for a couple of days because.
Oh no. Okay, so I will email you guys. What a mess. I will email you guys everybody the PDF and the Excel version of this schedule. But this is just a really basic schedule that you guys can use to start planning out your students' day as soon as they have their schedule. So I would do this at the end of the very first week of school. So the very first week of school, those first 2 days, it's a Thursday and a Friday, are going to be orientation with their advisor. So they're going to sit and they're going to learn about doing a schedule like this. And they're going to learn about how to navigate their classes. They're going to learn what to do on a daily basis, how to complete assignments, how to turn in assignments to their teacher. And then at the end of the week, you guys will sit down and look at the following week when their classes and their assignments really start and create a schedule with them. Again, like I was saying, this really will help them not have that anxiety, know what to expect, know what's coming up, have a scheduled time for everything. So the very first place to start when creating a schedule is going to be to put in your class connect times. Okay, so first you would start with those class connects. So plug in the times that your student is going to be in class first, and then schedule your lunch and break times. And then schedule your students' class assignments for the day. Typically, if you don't know how your student works, typically most in general, most assignments are 30 to 45 minutes in length for middle school and high school. Some take longer, some take less. It just depends on your student. If you don't know how they work, it's a really good idea to sit down with them as they complete, some of their lessons the first week, or just closely monitor them and keep an eye on, okay, English is taking him about this long and math is taking about, this long, or my student is, super speedy at math and takes a little longer doing English. So I'm going to schedule an hour for English and 30 minutes for math. But the great thing about this is that it can change, right? You have the flexibility to change this for your student and what works best for them. It's another great thing about online school is that you do have that flexibility. If your student works best in doing their assignments in the evening because you're there with them, then schedule them to do their assignments in the evening and make sure they're going to Class Connects when you're not home during the day. So that's one of the great things about online school. Let's see. So having sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add that, a lot of the kind of questions we get from new families usually have to do with, regarding attendance and the like. You've got, and then the schedule you have. One of the things that's different about our school than your regular brick and mortar school is that what we try to do is we try to give you access to whatever your student needs based off of the data that we have available at a moment in time. And for internally, like the way our principals and whatever talk about that, we talk about what we call instructional cycles and, all this educational jargon that no parents really care about. But what it really means is that, if after 2 weeks your student is taking an assessment and it looks like they're struggling with a particular concept that could be really pivotal going down the road, well, you might see your schedule change, not drastically. It's not going to mean that like, oh, ELA, is at a totally different time or anything like that. What it may mean is that you just have extra invites to things. That's one of the big changes we've made in the last year, is that we're trying to go to schedules that, for math and ELA specifically, those are really static times. Your student will very much know that, man, my math time is at 9 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or my ELA time is 10 o'clock and it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's almost identical to what the middle school schedule looks like. But in the midst of that time, let's say that time from 9 to, I'll just make up something. Let's say it's from 9 to 10:30. The teacher may not keep the students there from 9 to 10:30. They may say, hey, you're going to come from 9 to 9:30. And if you get somebody else to invite you to a session, like a tutor, because we have these people called interventionists on our campus too. If you get another invite from the interventionist, go see them, because they know exactly what you need this week. So you may see some things like that on your schedule that change, every 2 to 3 weeks. Those aren't things they're not meant to, I think in the past, the way we did this, sometimes we would do it and it would kind of change your whole day. And so if you're a gymnast and then all of a sudden you have normally you go to gym at 11 o'clock and now somebody's inviting you to come to tutoring at 11 o'clock, you're like, well, what am I going to do at tutoring? So we've tried to avoid those kinds of conflicts so that you have a more static schedule. But if you get an additional invite, it's purposeful. It's based on something the teacher is seeing or something that we're seeing in the data to show that your student needs something extra, more than just the regular gen ed instruction that we provide for everyone. So that's broad strokes. The other part that usually, and we'll talk more about this next week when we talk about policy, but with attendance, this, even though we're an online school, the state expects all our students to be in school every day. That's just what it is. You do have the opportunity to work ahead, because of the way our platform is set up, there is that opportunity to work ahead. However, if you work ahead and then you miss school, you're still not at school that day, with the way we have to track attendance. And we'll talk about that more in depth, next week, but that's also something to consider. So there's a lot of flexibility, a lot more than you'll find, I think, just about anywhere else. But because we're a public school too, there are some rules and regulations that we have to follow. And as long as you're aware of those, just like anything in life, you learn how to deal with the systems that exist. And this is just another one of those systems that we exist as a school within too. So anyway, there's my soapbox on scheduling and attendance. I didn't come for this, but here I am.
All right, thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions about creating a schedule, or have any input, or if you have an idea of something that might be a roadblock for you, you're welcome to type in the chat box or get on the mic and let us know, and we can talk through it. No? Okay, well, feel free to email me or Forrest. He's so glad I said that. And let us know what your questions are. We also have, and I said this last week, we have a K-12 app. It is fantastic for learning coaches. So download it. It will give you guys a list of their assignments and when their class connects are for the day. So at the very least, you can, if you're at work and your student's at home and they've got a class coming up, you can call them and say, hey, are you logging in right now? If that's the type of oversight that your student needs. So some students are more independent than other students. You guys know your student, you know your child. So make sure that you're, providing them the accountability that they need to stay on track. And the app will help you do that. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. That's it for today. Come back next week and we will talk about school policy. Thank you guys so much for coming.
I was just saying, Ms. Fireball, if you want to turn off the recording here. So bye, everyone. And then I'll stick around.